Yeah, it's all about sex. It's all about sex, but sex itself is not about sex. So did you know that, for instance, every fourth search on the internet, when people search, every fourth one is searching for porn? It's a lot. And yeah, men think about sex, according to some researchers that I found, 19 times a day, women 10 times a day. I'm sure they didn't test you guys. That will break the statistics. Some say that men think about sex every 7 seconds. They need to have very short thoughts to come back to that. And you can't see it really good, but it says sex sells. And it's kind of, there is a woman with the panties down and a company of Adidas, of the shoes. Basically, they try to sell everything to us with sex. It's kind of, you want this, take it with shoes. You want this, take it with a car. You want sex, take it with something that we try to push to you, because we know that if we put sex on the screen or on the picture, you're going to buy it, or you're going to be drilling on it. So, do you know this? What's that? Exactly. So, there is a Rorschach test that actually psychiatrists use it for kind of 100 years already. And you're supposed to look at this and see what's coming up freely in your mind. And as many of us know, the sketch of the Chamishiya Kamerit here, so one looks at this, what do you see? What do you see?
Kant.
Yeah, a cunt, a pussy, yeah. And the next one? What's that? Pussy, of course. And the next one? What's that? This is for sure, right? And the next one? Okay, so this one's, what do you see there, right? No, this is, yeah, it's a, yeah. So if Sigmund Freud was right, no, come back, right? So if Freud was right, you actually don't see a book here first, right? But it's a book, it's basically a book open. And what do you see in the next picture? Yeah, sure, you see a banana and a melon, right? So it's really all about sex, and what Freud actually said, click, is, and that was a big revelation in the world. Some people say that, you know, there was Copernicus that said that the Earth is spinning around the sun. That was a big revelation. And then Darwin with the evolution theory, and then Freud that put everything on sex. And these and revealed to us that we have a subconscious that is kind of running us from the inside. And what basically Freud said is that most of our interactions and our thoughts are based on sexuality, on the libido, on the drive of sexual desire, and we are afraid to express it. So it comes up in everything we see, because it's a repressed content and a repressed power. So it comes up in dreams. And every dream that we dream, if you dream that you're taking the elevator up, that means that you're dreaming on erection, of course. If you're dreaming that you're getting into a dark cave, well, that's clear, right? So anything you dream in classic Freudian psychology is, if your microphone is like not working, what does it mean? It's like, anything that happens to us is in a symbolic way, speaks about our repressed sexuality. But then came Carl Gustav Jung, who was a student of Freud and also was bringing a new depth into psychology. And you can, and this is a picture from one of the beautiful film that was made on Freud and Jung's sexual desires and affairs. It's called Dangerous Method. And here you see the picture from the film, Carl Gustav Jung, and no, you can stay there. And Carl Gustav Jung, who had affairs from the side and everything. Freud, by the way, stopped being sexually active when he was 40. Imagine. But Jung, so of course he had, you know, I mean, Freud stopped being sexually active when he was 40. Of course he had some repressed sexual desires and was dreaming about sex, everything. Jung, on the other side, had a wife, and he was sexually active, and he had lovers from his patients. One of them is this one, and it's a beautiful story. We're not going to go into it now. According to the film, he was also involved in BDSM relationships and stuff like that. So he was really a passionate being. But Jung said, sex itself is a symbol. It's not that everything symbolizes sex, as Freud said, but sex is an archetype. And as Micha Ancori, who's a doctor of psychology here in Israel, and a good friend of mine, says, if people today are actually dreaming about sex, we are not like the clients of Freud who were afraid to dream about sex. So they needed to dream about it like this, you know, like to symbolize it by something else. We want to speak about sex, we speak about sex. We want to dream about sex, we dream directly about sex. We don't need to use symbols. So if people dream about sex, and dreams are always symbolic, so we have to assume that sex itself is a symbol, it's an archetype. And that's actually what I'm working with. And I'm not working directly with dreams all the time, but with an awakened dream. We are walking in a dream, and everything that we are dealing with, like this microphone working, not working, everything that we're dealing with has some kind of connotation on a symbolic level. So if sexuality is a symbol of itself, what does it stand for? Or in another way, we think about sex all the time, we speak about sex all the time, we are trying to get laid all the time, whatever it is. What actually are we looking for? What is it? What is it that we're looking for when we're looking for sex? When you come here and are interested in, let's speak about sex, let's learn about that. What is it actually? Because there is something that we're looking for that is underneath the desire for sexual interaction. And in the way I see it is, it's not only when we talk about it or when we dream about it, but actually when we are engaging in lovemaking. The sexual act itself is not so interesting by itself. It's like, you know, it's all kinds of things that we do with the body which are good, but it's so charged because it has a deeper meaning in our mind. So let's explore a little bit of that. Yeah, so what are we looking for when we're looking for sex? Next one. So I thought, when I kind of tried to, first I put on the paper lots of things that we're looking for when we're looking for sex. And I saw that they come in 4 categories. There's the physical category, the emotional, the social, and the metaphysical. Under each of them, there are different bullets that are coming. And of course, because I come from Kabbalistic mind, so for me, those 4, the physical, the emotional, the social, and the metaphysical, are actually the 4 worlds of Kabbalah, and the 4 letters of the name of God in this order. We'll not this is just for, just to mention it. Please. So in the physical, first of all, touch. Touch itself is so important. It's healthy for us. It's good for us. It puts us in place. We need to be touched. We definitely need to be touched. And every organ in our body needs to be touched. It's healthy. It's important for our mind and for our body. No, stay, please. And of course, procreation, like making babies. This is also one of the needs for sexuality. But also to run life force energy through our bodies and to create health. Our body needs to move sexual energy. It's healthy for every cell in our body. And now if we move to the emotional, there are many things on the emotional list. I will not go into all of them. But we can think about some of them that are very prominent, like we walk in the world with a feeling of alienation. We feel separated from each other. And there is a deep desire to connect with another human being, to connect with ourselves, and to connect with the world, to feel connected. There is a deep wish to love and to be loved and to feel it through the body. There are wishes to connect with our father figure, with our mother figure, that many of us, we have to admit it, do it by engaging with a partner, man, woman, partners. There are many levels on the emotional part, like overcoming rejection. We all live with all kinds of traumas from being rejected. And when someone loves us, and someone loves our body and is willing to take us into their body or to come into our body, we are penetrated and being penetrated, we're penetrating and being penetrated. It's overcoming our experience of being rejected by friends, by our mothers, by our fathers, by our sisters. So there are many levels that we actually, they're all working when we are engaging in sexuality. It's all working underneath the surface. And of course, there's the social level. People have sex because they're looking for power as well. And for status, it means like, first of all, how many do I fuck? And who do I fuck with? And what's the power relationship between us in the sexual act itself? And this is right for men and women alike, just in different variation of that. But the search for power, the power game, is something that we need to also be aware of and to be sober about it. This is also happening. And we try to status ourselves in society by what society actually think is, worthy. And let's move to the metaphysical, which is for me the most interesting one. All spiritual traditions know to speak about the metaphysical aspect of sexuality. Whether it's the deep meditation that one can go deep into while the sexual act is happening. Whether it's just going out of the little self that I'm blocked in. I'm walking in the world kind of locked in my little personality. What happens when we are engaging sexually is our brain is producing different medicines. There are different hormones and different chemicals that are produced in the sexual act that actually change our mind and change our set of mind. And we are changed. Many of you heard me say that I look at sexuality as a gate, a beautiful gate that many people just don't pass through. It's kind of a gate, people come, visit the gate, enjoy the gate, and never pass through the gate to the other side. But all spiritual traditions know to say that there is another side to sexuality. So using the chemical shift in our brain that's happening while we are engaging in sexuality, we can actually go beyond our little self, open up to the Great One, and experience the divine, experience God, Goddess making love. Sometimes people ask, is God a male? Is God a female? Is the God or the goddess? And truly, I think God is sex itself. It's not this or that, but when we engage, when masculine and feminine principles are coming together in big love and a great fuck, oh my God. Thank you.